بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. أما بعد، يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وأحسن الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. ثم أما بعد. Alhamdulillah ala ni'mat al-Islami wa sunnah. All praise and thanks belong to Allah for guiding us to Islam and for guiding us to the Sunnah. حدثني جماعة من الشيوخ بإسناد كل إلى سفيان بن عيينة عن عمرو بن دينار عن أبي قابوس مولى عبد الله بن عمرو عن عبد الله بن عمرو بن عاص رضي الله تعالى عنهما عن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه قال: الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن ارحموا من في الأرض يرحمكم من في السماء. A number of scholars and ulama, they narrate this tremendous hadith, and many of the imams of old, they will narrate this hadith. This hadith is musalsal bil awwaliyah. This will be from the first hadith they will narrate to their students. So you will find in the chain, many of the students, they will mention that this hadith was mentioned to them, and they will say, وَهُوَ أَوَّلُ hadith سَمِعْتُهُ مِنْهُ, and this was the first hadith that I heard from him, meaning from that particular imam, their shaykh. And it is the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam where he said that those who are merciful, they will be shown mercy by the most merciful. Ar-Rahimun yarhamuhum ar-Rahman. That those who are merciful, they will be shown mercy by the most merciful. Be merciful to those who are in the earth, and the one who is above the heavens, he will show you mercy. This hadith is tremendous. لأن العلم رحمة, because knowledge is mercy. نتيجته رحمة في الدنيا, the result of knowledge is mercy in this dunya. وغايته رحمة في الآخرة, and the ultimate goal of knowledge is mercy in the hereafter. The ultimate goal of knowledge is mercy in the hereafter. We continue going over the tremendous book by the Fadilatul Shaykh Al-Allama, the Imam An-Nawawi rahimahullahu ta'ala, the book which is entitled Al-Arba'in An-Nawawiyya, reading from the explanation by the Allama, the Imam of Medina, Al-Shaykh Al-Allama Al-Shaykh Abdul Muhsin Al-Abbad hafidhahullahu ta'ala. We're still on the hadith of Jibreel. And this hadith of Jibreel is tremendously important. So many fruits come inside of this hadith. So much so that the explainer, Sheikh Abdul Muhsin, Hafidhullah ta'ala, he has a separate book just explaining this hadith. He has a separate work just explaining this particular hadith, which is about 80 pages in number. Which shows you that there are a lot of benefits that could be extracted. And what is being pointed out now, then they are only some of the benefits. They are just portions and explanatory notes on the benefits. Now, but there's a lot more that could be said about this particular hadith. So, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, let this serve as an encouragement to go into more depth and detail as relates to this particular hadith and the explanation of it, to take it extremely serious, and those who have the ability to memorize it, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. We are on the portion where the Prophet ﷺ, he explained that from Iman is belief in the hereafter. Naam, is belief in the hereafter, or biyawm al-akhir, belief in the last day. Belief in the last day. And the ulama, they mentioned that it has been called the last day because there will be no day after it. Has been called the last day because there will be no day after it. Naam, and that's why it's been called Yawm al-Akhir, the last day. Shaykh Abdul Muhsin, he mentions, he says, At-tasdiq wal-iqrar. It is a belief, and it is to acknowledge, it is to to agree and acknowledge بكل ما جاء في كتاب والسنة عن كل ما يكون بعد الموت. And this is a very important point that we need to know, that what enters into the belief in the last day is that we have to believe and we have to agree with and acknowledge and believe in everything that has come inside of the book, everything that has come inside of the sunnah as relates to those things that are going to happen after death. Naam. So from the time an individual dies, naam, those things that are mentioned that's going to take place, all of that enters into belief in the last day. All of that enters into belief in the last day. So the affairs of what will happen inside of the grave and so on and so forth, all of this enters into belief in the last day. Naam. وقد جعل الله الدور دارين. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has made the abodes two abodes. Naam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he has made the abodes two abodes. Darul dunya, this world, the abode of this world. With Darul akhirah, and the abode of the hereafter. Naam. There are only two abodes. Ya ibad. And I want you to understand this, because when we acknowledge the fact that we are going to only live once, naam, a lot of the individuals, especially at the head of them, the kuffar, they misunderstand this into do whatever you want to do from wickedness, do whatever you want to do from sin and transgression, do whatever you want to do that your soul desires from the carnal pleasures and so on and so forth. Why? Because you only live once. Naam. This is the wrong understanding. When an individual understands that they only live once, then this is a reminder to them that they have to take advantage of their life. They have to take advantage of the opportunity that they have. They have to take advantage of their life. Why? Because they only live once. Naam. And the reality of it is that there are only two abodes. The abode of the dunya and the abode of the hereafter. Naam. And what you do here in the dunya, then this will have a bearing on your hereafter. So if you get it wrong here, there is no redo, there is no replay, no start over. Naam. That's it. That's it. The opportunity is lost. Do you understand? So it is incumbent that we understand and we realize this, that we have two abodes, the abode of this world and the abode of the hereafter. The abode of this world and the abode of the hereafter. Now, and the ulama, they mention that from that which is necessitated in belief in the last day, al-isti'dad, is that we have to prepare for the last day. That if we believe in the day of judgment, if we believe in Yawm al-Qiyamah, then we have to prepare for it. We have to prepare for it by doing righteous good deeds. We have to prepare for it by asking Allah to forgive us for coming up short and for our sins and transgressions. We have to prepare for it by repenting unto Allah, making tawbah, na'am, so on and so forth. We have to get ready, na'am, because we're going to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we're going to be asked. We're going to be asked about this life and what we did inside this life. We're going to be asked about what we did, na'am, about our deeds and what we have done, so on and so forth. So we have to be prepared. And an individual in preparation, then they should look at everything from the standpoint, is that this thing, am I going to be pleased that I'm mentioning it in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or that Allah ta'ala, He mentions this particular deed to me. Naam, and if we reflect on that, then this will make us fall back and hold off from those deeds in which we feel ashamed to stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with, and this would encourage us, and invigorate us bithnillahi ta'ala to do those things in which Allah ta'ala is pleased with, and that we will be pleased, be mentioned when we have the meeting with our Lord. So it is incumbent that the belief in the hereafter, it has a bearing on the action, on the life, on the psyche of the Muslim. Now, this is incumbent, and this is what it should do if you truly believe in it, is that you'll get ready for it. Your whole world outlook is shaped and molded and structured by it. Now, but it's also important to understand that between these two abodes, وحد الفاصل بين هاتين دارين, and that distinguishing factor between these two abodes, because we have these two abodes, but then between these abodes we have what? We have a station. We have a station between these two abodes, and that station between these two abodes, and that is what? That is the barzakh. That's the barzakh. Naam, that distinguishing event that will happen, that distinguishing event that will happen between these two abodes is what? Al-Maut. Naam, that distinguishing event that's going to take place between these two abodes is what? Is death. Is death. And then there's a station of the barzakh. Naam, there's a station of the barzakh. So that death that is promised to all of us, that death that none of us can escape, that death that all of us has a day when it will be their day to die. Naam, it is a certainty that will happen to each and every one of us. Naam, وَالنَّفْخ فِي الصُّورِ, and also the blowing inside of the horn. Naam, the blowing of the horn. الذي يحصل به موت من كان حيا في آخر الدنيا. Also the blowing inside of the horn, because when the horn is blown into, all of those who have yet to die, all of those who are still living, naam, and the end of the world, then what's going to happen? They will fall down. They will fall down. They will die. Everything will perish. Only Allah will remain. Naam, everything will perish. Only Allah will remain, and that which Allah has decreed. But وَكُلُّ مَنْ مَاتْ قَامَتْ قِيَامَتُهُ, and whoever dies, then his hereafter, his resurrection is established. Now, this is what it means. His hereafter is established. Whoever dies, his day of judgment is established. Now, meaning that what? That death is a certainty. And once you die, that's it. Once you die, that's it. Now the hour has come to you. Now, because there's no more opportunity for you. There's no more opportunity for you. So as it relates to you, dunya is over. There's no more dunya. Now, even though people live on after you, as it relates to you, there's no more dunya. Dunya is done. The talk about dunya for you is done. You understand? Because you're not coming back. You're not coming back. So whoever has died, then his hereafter is established. His hereafter is established. But there will come a day from the days that every living being, it will perish. The only thing that will remain is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is ever living, who does not die. The one who is ever living, the one who does not die. But every human being, they will die. But the shahid here, and what I really want us to focus in on, and what I want to highlight, is that regardless of who outlives you, when death has come to you, your hour is established. That's it. No more dunya for you. Now, this should be of particular importance, and this should be of particular relevance, because we are in a time where we have massive amounts of people who are dying. Massive amounts of people who are dying from this calamity that has struck in the human beings. Now, just reported 2,000 some odd people died just in the previous day. Just in the previous day, 2,000 some odd people died in the previous day, all of them from COVID-19. You understand? This is not counting the deaths of other people who have died for other reasons. This is not counting the deaths of those who have died inside of accidents, of those who have died from aneurysms, of those who have died in labor, of those who have died from old age, in their bed, from heart attack, from whatever the reason. This is not counting that. These are just 2,000 some odd deaths from COVID-19, from the coronavirus. So we right. This should be of particular importance. This should be of particular relevance to us during these days. That death, it is promised to all of us, and tomorrow is promised to none of us. You understand? Death is promised to all of us, and tomorrow is promised to none of us. So it is incumbent that we take advantage of our life. Now, the Shaykh goes on and he says, وَانْتَقَلَ مِنْ دَارِ الْعَمَلِ إِلَى الدَّارِ الْجَزَاءِ إِلَى الدَّارِ الْجَزَاءِ. And when the person dies, when that death finally reaches you, when it's your time to die and it's been prescribed, you're going to die at this time, you're going to die at that time. You're going to have no more second left, no more minute left, no more breath left, no more piece of morsel of food left, no more drink left. No, that's it. When your time has come, it is over. You will not get any addition. You will not get any additional time frame added. You will not have any subtraction as well. So when it's over, it's over. But it's important to understand that when that death comes and it's over, that means it's only over for you to do good deeds. That means it's only over for you to earn good for yourself and to get the sin off of you. You understand? Because right now, when you're alive in Dar al-Amal, and this abode of work, you have time to what? To build for yourself, an abode in the hereafter. You have time to build for yourself and gain for yourself good, and you have time to clean yourself, to cleanse yourself, to get the dirt off of you, to get the sin off of you, by repenting unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by asking Allah ta'ala to forgive you. Now you have time to get the sin off of you. You got time to clean yourself up when you're alive here in the dunya. But once you're dead and the death has come to you, then that's it. It's over. There's no more opportunity for you yourself to do any good that can benefit yourself or to shake off any evil that you have brought on yourself. The opportunity is done. Now you have gone from the abode of work to the abode of being paid or the abode of being punished. You understand? You have gone from the abode of work where you can gain good and ask for forgiveness for the evil and run away, stay away from evil. You have gone from the abode of work to now the abode of now you're either going to be rewarded or you're going to be punished. نعم. والحياة بعد الموت حياتان. And the life after death is two lives. I want you to understand this. Because death, it comes and it's not like, okay, death is coming, that's it, it's over, it's done. You're done, right? No. The story don't end. It's not over. Your life is over. You can no longer gain good for yourself. The life in the dunya is over. But you're not over. Life don't stop. No, there's two lives after death. You have the life, al-hayatu baruzakhiyya. You have the life of the baruzakh, that station between the life of the dunya and between the life of the hereafter. So you have the life of the baruzakh, the baruzakhiyya. Now, what have you prepared for that? You understand? Individuals, they prepare for end of life, right? The responsible ones. You see, the responsible humans, they prepare for end of life. So they make sure they have something put aside for retirement, right? Something put aside so that they could still continue to buy food and pay bills after they're no longer working full time, so on and so forth, right? In the life. Whatever medical, decisions or whatever the case is, they have all that written out. What's going to happen when they old and they, feeble and they can't do like they used to can do and so on and so forth. Now, people prepare for that. Now, some people, the more responsible people, we say, the more responsible people, they prepare for in the life. Okay. But the truly responsible people, the people who are truly responsible, are the people who prepare for their life in the barzakh. Those are the people who are the real responsible people. Now, because whether you prepared for what's going to get your end of life preparations or not, that's irrelevant if you did not prepare for your life in the barzakh. Because remember, it's not over. That angel take your soul, it don't end right then. No, now it really begin. That's really the beginning right there. You understand? Because that's the beginning for forever. And for forever is a lot longer than whatever time we was upon this dunya. You're upon the dunya how long? 40-something years, 30-something years, 20-something years, 60, 50, 80, 100, 90, whatever. Yeah? But it's not forever. 100 years ain't forever. Somebody lived 200 years in our time. I don't know about that, but if they did, so what? It's still not forever. You understand? Forever is forever. And what we here for now is a short period of time. So don't play your forever for a short period of time. Ala kulli hal, the life in the barzakh, that's the time that we really got to be preparing for. Now, وَهِيَ مَا بَيْنَ الْمَوْتِ وَالْبَعْثِ, and it is between the death, separation from this world, and between the time that you're resurrected. That's how long you're going to be in the barzakh. That's the barzakhiyya. And how long we're going to be in there? Allahu ta'ala a'lam. As the ulama, they explain, when you look at the time frames, each time frame is shorter than the one that is after it. Now, so if you look at the life of this world, the life of this world is, however many years. As we mentioned, 80 years, this year, 100 years. People in the past, they live hundreds and hundreds of years, right? But it's still a short period of time. Then you die. Now you're in the life of the barzakh. Naam, al-hayat al-barzakhiyya. Now you're in the life of the barzakh. Right. Inside of the barzakh, how long you going to be in the barzakh? Allahu a'lam. Even those people who lived for hundreds of years in the past, how long have they been dead now? Allahu a'lam. Yani, thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, millions of years, right? How long they've been dead for a long time. Point is, a lot longer than they was on earth. A lot longer than they was on earth. Now, what about us? People who, in our age and era that we live in, people very rarely go beyond 100. People very rarely go beyond 100. Now, how long you going to be in your grave? Allahu a'lam. Allahu a'lam, how long you going to be in your grave? But typically, it's a lot longer than when you was alive. On earth, meaning. Typically, it's a lot longer than when you was on top of the earth. You understand? So the preparation for the barzakh is of extreme importance because you're going to be in the barzakh now longer than when you was on earth. Do you understand? You're going to be in the barzakh longer than you was on earth. And this is the case for most human beings. For the vast majority of human beings, they're going to be in the barzakh longer than they was on the earth. This is the situation for humans. You understand? So you have to prepare for that time frame. Now, when you look at the barzakh, how long a person in the barzakh? Now, Allahu a'lam. Thousands of years, millions of years. Allahu a'lam. How long a person will be in the barzakh? But whatever time frame that is in the barzakh, let's say it's millions of years. A person was in the barzakh. Now, millions of years, somebody was in the barzakh. But how does that equate to forever? Meaning, what's more? Millions of something or forever? Of course, forever. Forever is forever. You understand? Way longer than 1,000,000-something years. Way longer than 1,000,000,000-something years. Way longer than 1,000,000,000,something years. 100 trillion years, whatever the case is. Forever is longer than that. You understand? So each time frame is shorter than the one that is after it. Right? Each time frame is shorter than the one that's after it. That makes sense? So our preparation and being prepared for that is of extreme importance. You understand? Is of extreme importance. People go to school for how many years? They go to school for how many years to prepare for what? To prepare for a job that they're going to be in for a couple decades. You understand? They go to school for how many years? To prepare for a job they're going to be in for some decades. And people say those were the responsible ones. Those were the ones that had a good head on their shoulders. They went to school and they put forth 12 years of schooling. Then they did 4 years of college, right? Then they might have did a couple more years in a master program. Might did some more years inside, a doctorate program. Some might have become physicians. They went to medical school, did some more years, another decade, so medical school, whatever the case is, internship and whatever, residency and whatever. You understand? But they say, yeah, that's responsible, man. Been in school for 30-something almost years, right? He responsible. What? To go into a profession that he gonna be in that profession for what? 20 years maybe? 15 years, He might die. He might die. You understand? But let's say he retire, she retire. They may in there, what, now 25 years now? 25 years? So now the profession is actually shorter than the time in which they studied to get there. And they say that's the one that's the one that's responsible. That's the one that had good head on their shoulder. But then they don't prepare for the hereafter. They don't prepare for those thousands, potentially millions of years they're going to be in their grave. They don't prepare for that. So who got a real good head on their shoulder? See, it's important that we understand, because see, when we say this, it's important to understand that it is our aqidah that shapes our worldview. This is what shapes our psyche. This is what shapes our perspective. So for the believer don't look at things in the terms in which like the kuffar look at it. You understand? The believer don't look at things like that, like the kuffar look at it. People say, oh, I got to go to school so I'm going to get a good profession, so on and so forth. Now, I'm parents and putting these stipulations. Oh, if you want to marry so-and-so, you got to be a professional. You got to have a school. You got to have this, got to have that, and so on and so forth. And listen, each his own, whatever. But what I'm saying is what's really important, right? What's really important, what? You're going to give your daughter to that man that he went to school and so on and so forth, and he got this profession, and he white-collar worker and all this type of stuff like that, but he got no plans for the hereafter? He got no preparation for the hereafter? That's who you want to give your daughter to? This guy? You understand? This guy really got good head on his shoulder? No, he does not have a good head on his shoulder. So for the believer, our perspective is different. Okay, he has all that dunya, but he has nothing in preparation for the akhirah. He has nothing to offer. He's not good. He's not a good candidate. You understand? Whereas the other guy, he could be a janitor. He could be a garbage man. You understand? Good halal work. Good halal work. He can take care of his family. He can pay his bills. He can buy food. So on and so forth. Like, he can't drive the Maserati and the Bentley and the drop top coupe and all that nonsense. He can't do that. No. But he can take care of his family. But the man is righteous. The man, he has taqwa. He fears Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's striving to get ready for the day he meets his Lord. This one, he's a good candidate? Yes. And he's a street sweeper. Better than that doctor who don't care nothing about the akhirah. Better than that doctor who don't believe correct in the akhirah. You understand? That's the one who got the real good head on his shoulder. The one that's preparing for what? Preparing for that grave and preparing for forever. Where the doctor prepared for what? Prepared for a couple of decades in dunya? You understand? This is how the Muslims, our worldview is shaped. You understand now? And this is just an example. Everything should be shaped by the deen. All of our thinking, down to the way we use social media. By the deen. Na'am. By the deen. You sure you want to put that tweet? You want to feel comfortable about that tweet when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You sure you want to put that post on Facebook? You going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about that post? You sure you want to put that post on Instagram? You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about that picture you put on Instagram? You sure you want to put whatever on wherever? TikTok, whatever the case, whatever come out next day, whatever, I don't care. You sure you're going to be comfortable with that when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? You understand? Our deen, the reality, it shapes everything. Down to how we put a post on social media. Down to how we communicate and talk to one another. You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you said that word to your parents? You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and use that type of language? You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you lying? You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you spreading backbiting? You spreading slander? You're going to be comfortable when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're deceitful and you bring forth deception? You're going to be comfortable with that? No. So that what even shapes the way we talk, shapes the way we walk, shapes the way we dress, everything. You understand? Listen. The Prophet ﷺ, he said, whoever imitates the peoples from them. The ulama, they explain is because what? Is because what is on the outside will have an effect and a bearing on what's on the inside. Do you understand? What is on the outside, it has an effect of what is on the inside. So if you become accustomed to looking like those of misguidance, looking like the kuffar, do you understand? If you become accustomed to looking like them, to walking like them, to talking like them, then this will prepare you, get you acclimated to start thinking like them, and then start believing like them. And this is why those who imitated people is from them. Do you understand? Because what we do on the outside, it has an effect on our inside. This is the reality. Naam. Sheikh bin Baz, he gave a beautiful advice, as Sheikh Muhammad Bazmouli mentioned, is that an individual who was plagued, and this individual was plagued with watching sports, watching soccer, right? They were avid soccer fan, as many people are. Now, so they was asking about this. So the Sheikh, he gave some beautiful advice. He said, listen, he said, make sure you benefit from your time. Make sure you benefit from your time. However long a soccer match is or whatever the case is, that's a period of time that you're going to lose out on if you don't benefit from. He said, so make sure you benefit from your time. He said, so when you doing that, become accustomed to saying, Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Be continuous at having this on your tongue. Now, and then the Sheikh, he mentioned a benefit about Sheikh bin Baz. He said that Sheikh bin Baz, as Sheikh Wasi Allah, our Sheikh, ta'ala, he mentioned that Imam bin Baz, when they were present with him in the past, right, at different gatherings, conferences, so on and so forth, right, that the Sheikh will be constantly, you will catch the Sheikh, and he's saying, Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar. Like this, in a very light voice, very low voice, but he be constantly making dhikr. So much so, a person asks a question, and the Sheikh, he's making the dhikr, right? And then, when a person done talking, then the Sheikh will talk. Then when he's finished answering the question, he goes back, Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar. Na'am. This is something we should employ. We should do this. We should keep our tongues moist with the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The point is that, going back to that young man, that shab, is that if you become accustomed to keeping your tongue moist with the dhikr of Allah, what's going to happen is that now you're going to start to become shy to be making this dhikr doing a bunch of dumb stuff. You see? It helps you. It helps you save yourself from yourself. Because now you're making this dhikr, you ain't going to be doing stupid stuff while you're making the dhikr. Because, you understand? It's gonna discourage you from doing stupid stuff and to do stuff that really benefits you. You understand? In preparation for what? For the hereafter. Because we're gonna die. We're gonna die, and that's the reality. Ala kulli hal. As we say, what? Tomorrow is promised to no one, but death is promised to everyone. That barzakh, the Shaykh, he mentions, wal hayat. يعني والحياة البرزخية, and that life in the barzakh, لا يعلم حقيقتها إلا الله. No one knows the reality of it except Allah. No one knows the reality of it except Allah. But it's important for you to understand that even when death, it comes to you, it is not over. And this is important, especially for those who are suffering from depression, those who are clinically depressed, those who are suffering from suicidal thoughts, and so on and so forth, to know and to understand that once you pull that trigger and you take your life, it is not over. It doesn't stop. It doesn't fade to black. No. Now it really begins. So what you're running from is nothing in comparison to what you're going toward. Because the one who takes their life, the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that they would do that continuously over and over and over and over and over again inside the hellfire. So whatever pains you, makes you feel like this is gonna be a relief. No, it's not gonna be a relief. No. So remember that this is temporary. This life is temporary, and everything that happens in this life is temporary. Everything that happens in this life, it is temporary. Do you understand? Everything that happens in this life is temporary. Joy is temporary. We happy for a little bit and then we not happy no more. Sadness is temporary. We sad for right now and then we not sad no more. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, and I want everyone to really understand this, there is nothing in this world that is worth it. There is nothing in this world that is worth it to have you so depressed that you become gripped and paralyzed by depression. Nothing in this world is that important. There is no person in this dunya that is that important to have anybody like that. And the more we disconnect ourselves from the creation and the more we connect ourselves to Allah, then this is how the more happy we're going to be and how we're going to find true happiness. When we connect ourselves to doing that which is pleasing unto Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more we're going to find happiness. The more we connect ourselves to chasing after Allah's reward, the more we're going to find happiness. Now, this is of tremendous importance. This is vital for our mental health and stability that we understand this. Because the first people that's going to benefit from this understanding is who? Is us. We're going to benefit. Now, when we disconnect ourselves from the dunya, we disconnect ourselves from the creatures, from the creation, and we connect ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that everything now is shaped and molded by trying to do that which Allah loves and that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with. And then at the end of the day, whatever comes to you or is lost or so on and so forth for the believer, it could be sad. I'm not saying a person can't be sad, can't cry. No, you could be sad, you could be crying. But it's within its bounds, because at the end of the day, we realize what? Everything in this dunya is temporary anyway. Everything in this dunya is temporary anyway. Everyone in this dunya is only here for a temporary stay. Some of us going to stay longer than others. Now, some of us going to go before others, and some of us are going to outlive others. But the reality of it is that all of us are here, only here for a little bit anyway. We're only here temporarily, and then we're going to leave. Now, so whether I leave before you or you leave before me, we're going to leave. I'm sad that you left, you sad that I left, but as a believer, we realize that's not the end of the story. That's not it. If you are upon righteousness, we have hope. If I was upon righteousness, you have hope that bi'ithnillahi ta'ala we be together in Jannah forever. You understand? So it's only temporary. Whatever you're going through is temporary. So just like the sweetness of the juice when you drink it, the sweetness of the food when you eat it is temporary. Likewise, the hardship of the sting, the hardship of you hitting your little toe on the corner of the bed, the hardship of your stomach ache and your stomach problem, the hardship of your sickness, of your ailment is only temporary. Why? Because the dunya don't last forever. So nothing in the dunya gonna last forever. No situation in the dunya gonna last forever. You understand? So it's important that we understand and we realize that, because it helps for our mental stability. It helps for our sanity. Now, but it's only when the person is molded and shaped by their aqidah. Now, again, I just want to really have everyone soul search themselves, because our aqidah, what effect does it really have on us? You understand? When we say, yeah, we believe, what effect, what fruits can I see from that belief? And what I mean, can I see? I mean, I want everyone to look to themselves. What fruit can I see from my belief in my own life? You understand? Like, forget the next man. Forget looking at what this one did and that one did and so on and so forth. No, let's start with yourself. So for me, I gotta look at me to see what fruits can I see from my aqidah. Now, I believe I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be resurrected. I'm gonna either be punished or I'm going to be rewarded in my grave. How has that affected my day to day? How has that affected my life? How has that affected my speech? How has that affected my action? How has that affected my mentality, the way I think, and so on and so forth? How has that affected me? You understand? And then I want you to use that in every aspect of your life. How has that affected you, your aqidah? How has that really affected you? Or is it just words on your tongue and that's it? With no traces. Can't find it. You understand? Any event, we're going to be in that grave. وهي تابعة للحياة بعد نعم وهي تابعة للحياة بعد البعث. And that life, you'll find in the barzakh is going to be connected to what's going to come after that, after the resurrection. Meaning that what, if your life in the barzakh is okay, then it's a good sign for you that, and when you be resurrected, it's going to be okay. But if your life in the barzakh is punishment, then this is a sign that what's coming after you get resurrected is going to be way worse. And this is why the believers inside of their graves are going to be asking Allah, oh Allah, establish the hour. Right? Establish the hour. They want it over. Because the life in the grave is good. Right? But then it's like, you know what? Because they see what is prepared for them, that is how it's going to be so much better. It's like, forget this. Let's go to the hereafter. Let's go to the Jannah. Because it's going to be better. But the kuffar inside their grave, they're going to be asking Allah, oh Allah, do not establish the hour. Because they're going to realize, however bad it is right now, it's going to be way worse once I get resurrected. It's going to be way more horrible. The chastisement is going to be way more painful. So they're not going to want the hour to be established. You understand? So this is what is indicated by that. Now, لأن في كل منهما الجزاء على الأعمال, because in every one of those two, the barzakh and the life after resurrection, there's going to be something from being repaid for your actions. Being repaid for your actions. Now, being repaid for your actions, depending upon your actions, it could mean what? Either you're going to be rewarded or you're going to be punished. You understand? You're either going to be rewarded or you're going to be punished. You understand? وَأَهْلِ السَّعَادَةِ, the people of happiness, the believers, the people of happiness, those who live their life striving to do what was right and to making repentance when they did what was wrong. Those who live their life striving to do what is correct and to implement that which Allah Ta'ala has mandated upon them. For these people, and we ask Allah Ta'ala to make us all from them, مُنَعَّمُونَ فِي الْقُبُورِ بِنَعِيمِ الْجَنَّةِ, they will be rewarded inside of their graves with some of the reward of Jannah, or some of the bliss of Jannah. They will be rewarded in their graves with a piece of the bliss of Jannah. وَأَهْلُ الشَّقَاوَةِ, and the people of evil, the kuffar, the disbelievers, the hypocrites, naam, the habitual sinners, and all of that. You understand? Inside of their graves, فيها بعذاب النار, they're going to be مُعَذَّبُونَ فيها بعذاب النار. They're going to be punished in it with a piece of the punishment of the fire. With a piece of the punishment of the fire, we ask Allah Ta'ala to protect all of us from that. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect all of us from that. وَيَدْخُلُ فِي الْإِيمَانِ بِالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ, and it enters into the belief in the last day, الْإِيمَانِ بِالْبَعْثِ. Of course now, because we're talking about the barzakh and stuff that's going to happen inside the grave. Also, it enters into the belief in the last day are those occurrences that are going to happen on the day of judgment. Now, and the fact that we will be resurrected. So al-ba'th, that we will be resurrected. Al-hashr, that we will be gathered. Na'am wa-shafa'ah, and that there will be intercession on the day of judgment. Wal-hawd, and that there will be the hawd of the Prophet ﷺ, that the believers they will drink from. Wal-hisab, and that we will be judged. Na'am, we will be judged and get our record for what we have done. Wal-mizan, and that the scales will be there, and that actions will be weighed, deeds will be weighed, people will be weighed. So on and so forth. Wa sirat, and of that bridge which is thin as a hair, sharper than the sharpest sword, that we're gonna all have to cross over. Now we're all gonna have to cross over. Wal Jannah, wal nar, and that the heaven and the hellfire. وغير ذلك مما جاء في الكتاب والسنة, and other than that, from that which comes inside of the book and the sunnah, that it is linked to the occurrences of the hereafter, the occurrences of the day of judgment, so on and so forth. Now, all of this enters into the belief in the day of judgment, and other than that, because as mentioned, this is just a bridge. This is an abridged explanation. It doesn't go into really a lot of depth and detail, but abridgment just to give us some understanding. just to give us some reminder, just to teach us some selected things, highlighted key and important points, so on and so forth. And then the Alama, he goes on to Iman bil Qadr, and belief in Qadr, the divine decree. But bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we'll save that until our next class, dealing with this particular topic. Wa as'Allah ta'ala أن يوفقني وإياكم لما يحبه ويرضى, وأن يجعلنا مباركا حيثما كنا, وأن يجعلنا ممن إذا أعطي شكر وذو بطولي صبر وإذا أذنب استغفر, فإن هؤلاء ثلاث عنوان السعادة. ربنا انفعنا بما سمعنا واجعله حجة لنا ولا علينا. ربنا زدنا علما. إلى اللقاء. Until next time we meet. نكتفي بهذا القدر. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. وجزاكم الله خيرا.